Here's 3 things we learned from the Collingwood-Hawthorn game. Let's get into it. So, look, there could have been 100 things that we learned from this game, but I've picked 3 things that I sort of want to talk about that I didn't get to really touch on in the preview because I was making, the review, because I was making this video. I want to start with the first one, right? One of the things that we learned, the first thing that we learned, I feel that the tough start has cooked us. We started the season off in Sydney. That's no problem, right? Whatever. That was that for opening round. Then after that, we played 3 games in 12 days off 6-day breaks. You know, plus the short turnaround time from a grand final, which, you know, it is what it is, right? I understand that. I understand that the premiers always get a tough run to begin with, and that's just part and parcel of winning the premiership. You get a tough run. We've played all top 8 teams except for Hawks. We played the grand finalists already. Brisbane, of course. St Kilda, who are up there. Sydney and GWS, who are going to finish top 4 this season. So we had a really tough start. And look, I guess it is not an excuse because we should be winning games anyway. But I think it is just something to mention. And I think that's very evident of how our season's been, because we had a bit of a tale of 2 halves against Hawthorn. That first half was incredible, right? That's exactly how we want to play. We were nearly 40 points up at half time, and that's how we played against Brisbane. That was the good Collingwood footy that we absolutely love. That second half was just, I think, who was it? Was it Matthew Lloyd that said, or Jonathan Brown, we were just running out of petrol tickets in that second half. We did enough and tried to shut the game down, which isn't a very typical thing that we usually do, but we just tried. We thought, okay, we're 6-7 goals up. Let's just shut the game down, see what happens. And then Hawthorn just had smelt blood in the water and absolutely just came for us. And that was evident by only winning from 38 to only a 5-point win. And I think that was just a culmination of everything that's happened in the last 4 or 5 weeks since opening round. And we were just scraping by to the bye, and we just got over the line. We got the 4 points. We stole the 4 points pretty much. Took them back to Melbourne, and now we can reset. Now the coaches can really see what the hell is going on with this team, because we are not the same team that we were last season. I understand that things will be different, but things are way too different at the moment. The second thing we learned is that our run from halfback, our dash and dare, isn't there anymore. Over the last few games, this season, over 2024, we've averaged 12 points per game from our back half. Now, when you think about Collingwood last season, and even in 2022, that back half run and carry, that through the corridor, taking the game on, that was our bread and butter. That's where we were generating a lot of our scores from. Turnovers as well, and pressure. The pressure has sort of come back. Definitely came back against Brisbane. It came back against Hawthorn as well. We had a pressure rating of 203, which was the highest pressure rating in any game of football this season, which was good to see. But 12 points per game from halfback, when that is our bread and butter, that's just like saying, I don't really watch a lot of NBA, but, you know, Steph Curry not being able to, you know, I don't know how much, only not being able to shoot 3-pointers anymore because he just can't do it. He just lost his 3-point game, even though that is his bread and butter. That's the sort of thing that I'm sort of talking about. You look at the prelim against Melbourne, we scored 38 points from, they were generated from halfback, running off the halfback, Nick Dacos, Jeremy Howe, all these players sort of hitting a target out of halfback, and we have just lost that. And I don't know if that's, when I say by design, I mean, have they tried to change the tactics a little bit? Have they tried to change the game plan a little bit? Or have we just been worked out that well that no one is letting us run off halfback? And I think it's a little bit of both, because even our corridor use is pretty non-existent, especially against Hawthorn, especially in that second half as well. It really dried up. And we're known as that run and carry team. And when you don't see that in a game, it's very, very evident. And it just looks bad. And we need to sort of get something. We need to do that again. And it might not be exactly like we did last year, but it has to be different to what we're doing now, what we're doing in these last 5 games, because it hasn't been very good to watch. The last thing that the lesson that I learned is that it's a bloody long season. Like, we're only 5 games in, and we're 2 wins, 3 losses. Matthew Lloyd has said Collingwood's not premiership material. Everyone's writing us off already, and that's fair enough. You know, where the premiers was, people were having us at 3-2 or 4-1 to start the season, and now we're 2-3. We're 11th on the ladder. But it is a long season. There's 24 rounds this season, and we're only 5 rounds in. So there is a lot of room for improvement. I'm glad that we're doing or having this sort of weird patch now, as opposed to a weird patch in rounds 20 to 24, because that's when you would start questioning things a lot more. Craig McRae always says that all you need to do is qualify, and if there's any for finals, and if there's any team that I feel like can win a premiership from first all the way down to 8th, it's Collingwood, because when you get into those finals, it's a different beast. It's a new season. Everyone goes up the next level. So there's a lot to be desired, but we have seen a little bit of improvement every single week. We saw it a lot against Brisbane, saw it in the first half against Hawthorn. Then we just absolutely chucked the handbrake on, and Hawthorn ran over the top of us. You can't do that to good teams, obviously. And, it says a lot about Hawthorn. They played absolutely fantastic in that second half after being down by 40 points or so. So credit to them. But it is a long season, and there's nearly about 20 or something games left. I think we'll be okay. I know we'll be okay. Just a little bit of things need to change for us to go that next step. Look, just really quickly, I wanted to get this sort of video out. These are the 3 lessons that I've learned. What did you learn from the Collingwood Hawthorn game? There's going to be a lot more videos. If you're watching this, at 8 o'clock tonight, Footy Abroad with me, Blue Abroad, and Jake from Saints TV. It's going to be epic. It's going to be every Tuesday night live at 8 o'clock, talking about the big issues from footy. It's going to change footy content on YouTube. I absolutely promise you. It might change lives. Who really knows? But until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pairs, and until next time, double shackers. I'll swoop you later.